I don't know, y'all might not like me for this, but I'ma say it. Okay, the biggest thing you can do, the biggest L you could take is fumbling your man while he's trying to get together. I'm not talking about a bunch. Okay, I'm not talking about one of them. I'm talking about a man who genuinely has a plan, who knows where he's going. Okay, he might not have it all together, but he's on his way there. Okay, and the worst thing you could do as a woman is fumble that. Okay. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's a give and take holding the man down because there's no guarantee that he'll still be there once he get on his feet or get to where he wants to be at. That's why you have to go for character. Okay, choose your man with a good character. How they look, how much money they got. You better get you with some character. Cause hear me out, y'all be quick to hold down while he in jail, like be locked up 8-9 months. Oh, babe, I ain't going nowhere. This yours. Don't lie, not of this, not of that. Can't nobody me. Let a man try to get together. You ain't paying my bills. You ain't doing this. I can't with you. Like, yo, you gotta pick your battles. You gotta pick your battles and choose wisely. Okay. Get a man with some good character, and you ain't got to worry about it. You'll be set for life. You don't have nothing. Lock in with that man. If he doing what he supposed to do, lock in. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm just a messenger. I don't know.
I mean, remove all of the little ghetto hood references and all of that stuff aside. To be honest with you, she telling y'all the truth. But this is the reason, and this is the difference between a lot of times our cultural norms and other cultural norms. Is that a lot of women are willing to take the risk on the man that they want because they understand that a man is not going to be where he's supposed to be or where he's going in his early 20s. Not sometimes not even in his mid 20s. A lot of times he don't even start to become what he's really going to be as far as his apex until he gets into his late 20s, early 30s. Now, I'm not telling women that they need to go and find a woman to hold him down until he's 30, but to be honest with you, what she said is accurate. When you talk about character, character also embodies work ethic, it embodies doing the right thing, it embodies being able to endure long enough to get to the results. Like, you can pretty much tell the people that are going to be successful. Remember when we were in high school and they had mock elections where they basically had the most likely to succeed? Guess what? We also knew who was going to go to jail. We also knew who was selling dope. We also knew who was going to be out here in the streets. We also knew who was a possibility to make it to the league, but it's a possibility they may not make it to the league because they're going to get caught up in some BS before they get to the league. Like, we knew all of that. We knew that in high school. People voted in high school on who was going to be what, right? And so if we were able to figure that out as children, right, as people that were in our teens, then how can't we be able to figure out who it is that we need to be rocking with as adults? And the truth is that all adults, all human beings have the ability to see it, but I think that a lot of women, black women in particular, are short-sighted when it comes to how they feel, right? They operate off their emotions so much that they're willing to make the sacrifice for their future instead of rolling with the person that is going to be good for their future. They want the short term gains, thinking that they are going to get that other guy on the tail end of the stick. And then they come on here and they complain on these applications and they jump on the phone and they start to have this conversation with us acting like it ain't no good men. No, it's always been good men. It's just that the men that you were supposed to rock with and marry are not the men that you chose when you were younger. They're not the men that you chose when they was on the come up. And so they remember that, right? We have this memory in our head to where we understand everything that has ever happened to us in our lifetime, from the way that our parents raised us to the environments that we were raised in to the spiritual teachings and the things that we never really went away from. Even if we strayed a little bit, we understand exactly what happened and the people that helped us and impacted us on our way up as far as through college and high school. And we also pay attention to the friendships and the friend groups. And when we start to put all of that together as we develop and as we become greater and as we become the men that we're supposed to be, we also know who to avoid, right? And the people that we avoid the most in these learned lessons, and I believe that men need to get hurt early, they need to go through it, they need to suffer. When my nephews fall in and out of love every other week, I heard one of my nephews just got broken up with, like a chick broke up with him, and he had went to a whole nother city to be around this chick, right? And he hit me up for money, right? He was like, "Hey, Uncle Anton, can you hit me off with this? Can you hit me off with that?" And so I didn't hit him off with the full amount because I knew what it was. But I was okay with him learning a lesson. And he got his head cracked. And I just found out this morning. I found out that he got his head cracked and now he got to move back to Detroit. And he ran to New York chasing this little chick that wasn't checking for him. And I met her. And I was thinking to myself, that's not the one. Like that's a moment because he was trying to sell her on who he was going to become while at the same time trying to project that and dressing for the job that he wanted, right? But he wasn't that and she wasn't checking for it. But she was there for the moment. And I can tell just from having a conversation with her for a short amount of time that, she was moving to New York to get away from this environment. But at the same time, she was mentally gone from everything, including him. It was just an endurance race. And then there was a holiday at the time and she didn't have nowhere else to go. So she came over to eat. But I was able to pick that up immediately. But this is me as a 43-year-old man, at the time, 42-year-old man. This is me as a 43-year-old man with all of the insight and infinite wisdom that I have. Whereas I'm trying to communicate it to him and I said, bro, this ain't it, but they need to crash out. They got to suffer a little bit, and I think that it's good to suffer early so that you don't make those long-term bad decisions. Hopefully he learned his lesson. But the truth is that a lot of times I tell men to vet for the man that you to vet women for the man that you are going to become. Is she able to hold it down? Is she's going to be in the same rooms as you? Can she be able to handle herself? Will she be able to be successful in certain capacities? Can she be around your business partners? Because you're not always going to be this pimple faced 18-year-old or 20-year-old or 25-year-old. You're not always going to be dusty. You're not going to be immediately successful. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of hate Instagram and that is because they don't show you the process. It's just a quick photo of somebody posting somebody else's car or somebody getting really lucky or whatever and them getting rich really early. And then you think that that's what life is about. Life is an endurance race. Even the word of God says it's not given to the swift, it's given to he who endureth to the end. It's not about what you're doing right now. It's about what you're projecting yourself to be later. And so a lot of women, especially black women in particular, they good intention, not good intention. And I don't think that every other culture got good intentions. I just think that they attach themselves to the men that they think gonna be successful very early, and they're willing to ride it out with him, right or wrong. They're riding it out with him. A lot of times, I think that our women think that they can have fun and slut it out and do what they want to do and go with the dudes that's not the best for them. Like she said, they be holding down the dudes that's the dustiest, and then they overlook the men that were supposed to be their husbands and they overlook the men and they put them in the friend zone and they don't rock with them and they don't attach themselves to that guy. And as a result, they be struggling, they be dusty, and then they be talking about, oh man, what makes you think that I can't get a man as a single mom of two? Well, if you could, then you would do it and you wouldn't be on the app actually complaining about it. But I do. I see a lot of women crashing out. I see a lot of women suffering. I see a lot of people not being successful because they can't focus long enough to actually be able to get to the results. And if they could, then they would, but they can't, so they didn't. And it's unfortunate that I see so many people having children with the same dudes, so many people getting pregnant by dudes that's not best for them, so many women coming up late in life like, oh man, I should have figured it out. I should have made the adjustment. And they'll never publicly admit it, but I've seen them admit it inside of coaching calls. I've seen them reach out to me and I've seen them actually admit it sometimes occasionally like you see this woman right here again, remove all of the ghetto-ness and stuff. But I've seen women sometimes occasionally, you know, get to it. And you got to understand that sometimes some of y'all don't qualify for the guy that make 100, 150, 200, $300,000. You qualify for a regular man because you are a regular person just like all the rest of us. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.